Hello, hello everybody. Are you getting me? Can you hear
Hi,
me?
Professor.
Hey, how are you? Good to see
Good
you.
to, good to see you, Professor.
Okay, great. So some other people are also joining. Let's see who is there. Hey, Arun Teja, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, sir. Thank you. How are you?
I'm good too. Thank you very much for asking. So these days Corona is spreading quite a bit in this area. So they are saying that keep your mask on in the public places and be
Yeah, now it
careful.
yes, sir. Now it is mandatory to wear the mask.
Yeah, now it is mandatory to wear the mask. Yes. So this is kind of very strange time we are passing through.
Yes,
So
sir.
I wish that, all of us pass through this era, safe and sound.
Yes.
Okay. So question is that did you work on the code a little bit at least? Did you get it downloaded?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And everybody, Envish, did you get it downloaded?
Yes, sir. Yes, Professor. And also, I requested a pull request actually.
Oh, you have already made the pull request?
Yeah, not for
Eh,
the picture class. I just created one 95 just to learn the process of the pull request. I just
Okay, okay. This is good. This is good. Right. So let's do it once. Let's do our coding exercise first,
yes,
and then towards the end we'll do it. Okay.
yes, Professor.
Just remind me. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Any question for today? Who is missing? I think Yash is missing. Who else is missing?
Yash and Manthan.
And Menthan. Yeah, Menthan is also missing. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. Okay. So let's start our today's lecture and let us see that what is the current status of our project. I have not probably shared my screen with you. Just give me a minute. I will share with you in a minute. Where is you guys? Yes. Okay. Let me share my screen with you. Um, mm, okay. Can you see? Right? Can you see my screen now? So here, we have this navbar at the top, right? So basically, home page, public, right? My wall and me, right? So all these pages are here. What is something wrong about the nav bar?
We can have one search.
Yeah, that is a different story that we want to provide some more tabs here. But one wrong thing here is that, look, for example, if I'm at the home page, this nav bar is not telling me that where I'm at, right? Definitely this header is telling me, right? But navbar by itself, if I'm at public, navbar is kind of mute. So I was looking at this thing that, many times it happens that since it takes a little bit of more coding, so sometimes people like to have it mute and manage it by this, first heading or by using breadcrumbs, right? So, but I like to tell you that how can we make this navbar responsive about it, right? So for example, if I come to CSS and I want to say dot this page, and here we say color is brown, right? And say for example, in the nav bar, in one of href, say for example over here, I say class is equal to this page. Right, class is equal to this page, save it. And if we go over here, reload it, what has happened wrong? Double S, right? CLASS. So save it and reload it. You can see that this is different now. But this is not a good thing because it is like statically at the home page. So we want to make it dynamic, right? So basically I want to start my today's lecture by telling you that how can you make a dynamic navbar. Are you getting me?
Yes, sir.
Right, so how can you make a dynamic navbar, right? So this is something we want to learn today. Okay, so we come back here. So we come back over here, and first of all, the first thing over here we want to know is that we need to know, we need to know this thing, that what page we are currently at, right? Makes sense. So once we are sure that what page we are currently at, then we can know that okay, which link we need to give this class. Does it make sense, guys? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's start doing it. So let's come over here. Let's open a PHP tag. Hey, Manthan, welcome back. Yes, you got a little late. I want to expand it. It's not allowing me to expand. Okay, from here. Okay, great. So we come over here and we want to judge this thing, that how can we get hold of current page, right? So we come here. So here, what super global I have kind of introduced you with. So you must be knowing that I have introduced you with number one, get super global, right? I have introduced you with post super global, right? And now this is, and then cookies super global, right? So now this is another super global I want to introduce you with is, and uh, it is what? It is server super, right? So let's see that what do we have over here. So we come over here, we say echo, sorry, and we come here, we say var dump dollar underscore server, right? So let's see what is inside this server file, or what is inside this server variable, and let's see that do we have something by which we can know that which page we are currently at, right? So we come over here, we say let's reload it. So here we got it, right? So it is a big array and it has so many things, and what we are interested in is this one. If we browse over it, if we browse over it, If we browse over it, we will be having can you see, where we have the file name which we are currently at? URL, I think this is PHP self. So yeah, look, here it is. Right, so whatever the name of the URL is, it is over here. So this is something I'm interested in. So let me echo it out for you. Let me just remove it. Save it, and let me open this. Let me reload. So this is the URL where we are looking. For example, if we are at home page, it will be index.php. If we are at public page, it would be public.php. If it is my wall, it is my wall.php. Right? So if we want to get hold of this last part of the string, so we can come over here and we can say base name. Right? If we say base name like this, so let's see what we are looking at. Right? So now it is just giving us the href part, right? So for example, if we are at the home page, it is saying index.php. If we are at the public page, it is saying that public.php. If we are at the my wall page, it is saying my wall.php. So this is the first step in the generation of dynamic navbar. So for your quick reference, we look for example, if I remove this, if I remove this class from here, save it, right? Now the deal here is that this entire navbar is completely mute. Whatever the page we are, this navbar is not telling us about it, right? Whether we are home page, whether we are public page, navbar is remaining the same, right? So we want what? We want to generate a dynamic navbar. Are you guys getting me? Shri, Yash, and Manthan, you joined us a little late, but have you got it that what we are trying to do today here?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So we want to make a dynamic navbar, right? So how can we make it a dynamic navbar? This is a big question now. So we come over here and let us have this entire navbar maybe we can have it over here, but let us do one thing. Let's have these anchor tags cut from here, and let us have these anchor tags into a variable. Any variable will work, right? So let's say it is HTML. Single quotes, because we have double quotes within them, and here we put them. Right? So we have taken all these anchor tags into a PHP variable. Right, guys? Hello? Now, if we go back over there, reload it, that navbar has gone actually, right? Those anchor tags have at least gone, right? So if we want to bring those anchor tags back, we can come over here and we can say that this is a PHP tag and echo dollar HTML. Right, guys? Hello, right? So, so, so let's see. There is navbar is back. Right, so this navbar is back. Okay, we come back over here. Let's put this base name into a variable. So we say that this is current page href, right? So this is current page href. Now, what do we want to do here, right? Say, for example, if somebody asks you that, hey, programming, you just set the programming aside, you just tell us that what do you want to do now? So please explain in your own words that what do we want now? Yes.
Highlight the current page.
Hmm?
Highlight the HTML file which is opening.
Very good. So basically we want to give class to that particular anchor tag whose href is matching this particular href. Make sense? Right? Right, guys? So Avinash, are you getting me, my dear?
Yes, sir.
Right? So we have a few steps to do here, right? What are those few steps? So first step would be that, okay, this is just a string for PHP right now. This is what? This is just a string for PHP right now. So the first thing we have to do is to let PHP know that the above string is HTML, right? Let's draw it HTML or part of DOM, right? So it is part of DOM, right? This is the first thing we want PHP to know, right, guys? The next thing which we want this PHP to know is that what are the tags we want to process, right? So which would be anchor tags, right? So what are the tags we want to process, right? Number 3, find out the tag we want to process and process it. Right? Are you getting me? So these are the 3 major steps we want to take over here. So first thing is that we want PHP to know that above string, which is named as $HTML, this is what? This is a DOM part, right? This is the part of the DOM. And then out of that DOM part, we would like to find out the anchor tags, right? We want to find out the anchor tags. Once we have got the anchor tags, we will iterate over the anchor tags to find out that one, which is our current page. And then we are going to give class to that particular anchor tag. Make sense, guys? Hello, everybody. Okay, great. So let's do this thing. So for example, we come over here, we say dollar DOM, any name is good. Dollar DOM is equal to new DOM document. Right? So basically, once you create this thing, new DOM document, so basically this is a class which will help us to recognize that this string, which is $HTML, is in actual an HTML string, right? So then we come over here, we say dollar $DOM. I think this is arrow load. Or is it load or is it load HTML? I think this is load HTML, right? So load HTML. What do you want to load into it? We want to load dollar $HTML, our string. Right? So basically we have loaded it. Once we have loaded it, now it is time that we can get hold of tags we want to process, right? So we come over here, we say dollar anchor tags is equal to dollar anchor tags is equal to dollar DOM arrow get elements by tag name, and tag name is anchor tag, right? So thereby we got hold of anchor tags, right? We got hold of what? We got hold of anchor tags, right? Once we have got hold of anchor tag, let me just check that if syntax is going right. I just wrote this code in one of my other projects. Yes, this is going good, right? So basically we have done so. And now, oh, sorry. Now we want to iterate over these anchor tags, right? So we come over here, we say for each anchor tags as, we don't need key here, as tag, and we say if tag sub href is equal to current page href, then do what? Then add that particular class into it, right? Let me just copy the exact syntax. And here we have the tag instead of item. And then, we will load, save HTML back to HTML, variable. And that's pretty much it. Then let's save it and let's run it just to see that what comes out of this entire work. Reload it. Oh, notice. So what is the issue? Undefined property DOM element href $href in, okay, so it is saying that href is not the property. Probably we have used the wrong property name. right over here, right? So basically it should be something else. Let's see, what is that? So it is get attribute, right? Not just a href, get attribute href is a function, right? So we have to call it. Save it. Let's see, reload it, right? So let's see that what's wrong here. What's wrong? It's still mute. So let us see, we come over here and the class name was this page, right? Is it? Where is my CSS? Yes, this dash page. Okay, save it. Let's reload it. Right, now you can see that your nav bar is no more mute, right? If I go to my wall, right, you can see that it is turning, whatever the navigation is, right? So it is showing us the proper navigation. Right, guys? So now this nav bar is actually a dynamic nav bar.
Is it working? Is it working when we refresh the?
Yeah, of course. Let's refresh it, right? Let's refresh it. Twice refresh, right? And server is getting a little slow because I'm running so much stuff on my computer. So it is overwhelmed, right? So this is the home page, right? This is public. This is my wall, right? And this is make sense, guys? Any questions so far? Got it? Hello, everybody.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Prof.
Okay, great. So basically, in this part of the lecture, we were able to make a dynamic navbar. So let me just repeat it a little bit so that if you have any confusion, any issue, it get clear. So we had that navbar, static navbar over here. We cut it from here and we pasted it inside a variable named HTML, right? And then later we echoed that particular variable over here so that our navbar is back. Now here in this part of the code, we process that navbar. We said that, okay, first of all, this is just a variable. Then we said that it is actually a DOM document by these two rows. And then we said that recognize anchor tags out of them. So we recognize the anchor tags. And then we iterated through those anchor tags and saw that wherever the href is same as the current page href, which we obtained over here. So we said that add class, tag set attribute class this page and save this into DOM and then later on echoed it. So this is exactly what is happening over here to make this navbar as dynamic navbar, right? So now you can see that the dynamic navbar is not just HTML. It is whole sum of PHP, which is actually generating it for us and giving it at the server end. Have you got it, guys? Right? So let us take, since I'm going to start a new article after this, so let's take 5 minutes break and then we'll come back and start a new article, right? So let's take 5 minutes break. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. So I thought that since we are going to start our news section. Let's take a little bit of break so that everybody is with fresh mind and understand that what's going on here. Okay, so once our project is at this stage, what do you think? What should we do next? Yes. Hello. What should we do next?
You can
So,
add to drop down,
what kind of drop down you want to make, my
uh,
dear?
like when we click on me
Uh-huh.
and log in, um, profile settings and all will should come.
Right,
Drop down.
definitely. But we don't want to make settings or anything. We are just making, so all we have to make over here is sign in, sign out, sign up process,
Yes.
right? So we want to make this entire process, right? And we want to know that how to make it. And this is definitely, in any content management system or CMS, this is one of the basic and major part that you get to know this thing, that how do you have your customers sign up, how they are going to sign in, how they are going to sign out,
Yeah.
right? So authentication is one major part over here in any content management system. So we want to know this thing, that how can we authenticate our users, or how can we make their accounts, how to log them in, how to log them out. So this is something we want to make. But before we go ahead and make these functionalities, we get to know one more thing. And that one more thing is session. So we get to know this thing, that what are sessions, right? And how sessions are used to make the sign in, sign out process, right? Hello.
Yes,
So
sir.
question is that what are sessions? Does somebody know that what are sessions?
Like when we log in, the session recorded like how much time this particular user like since login.
Okay. Anybody else? Yes.
You can track some personal activity of the user with the help of.
Yeah. All is good. Yeah, but I would say one thing. Their sessions are like cookies, but totally different.
Sessions are stored on server side,
Server side.
Yeah,
and
you're
cookies
right.
are
So
stored on not stored
on the
in.
client
Yeah.
side, very good. So the deal here is that what are sessions? So let me make a drawing for you, right? Let me have a new page, and let me make a small drawing for you. So for example, say this is the client side. Say this is the server side. And say server is running a session, right? Once server is running a session, so say this client comes over here for the first time, right? So server makes a file for that particular client over here at the server end, and make a reference of this thing, and this reference is PHP ses ID. So, so this server sends out this session ID as a cookie to the client. Hey client, set PHP ses ID. So client saves that cookie with him, and when the next time it comes back, it presents that cookie and server actually treats him accordingly. by looking into this particular file, right? So basically it session works like cookie, right? How they work like cookie, because a session ID is saved at the client as a cookie. But whatever the information within the session, it is never sent to the client. It always stays there at the server end, right? And server monitors it, server maintains it, right? And it takes action according to that. So let me demonstrate before I put sessions here in this particular project. Let me demonstrate to you that how do sessions work by making a small file, right? And activating sessions into it. And then we'll see that how do sessions work, and then how can we integrate them over here, right? Have you got it? Right, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So we come over here. Where are you guys? This is not you. This is not you. You guys are over here. So here I make a new folder and name it sessions, right? And here I make a new file, sessions.php, right? Sessions.php. And say this is HTML, small HTML. And here we have h1, welcome, right? And here we say we give a form, right? We give a form. So no action. So if there would be no action, then action page is the same page. Method is post, right? And we say input name, placeholder, please tell us your name, right? So this is the input, right? And let's have a submit button. Type is submit, name is button. Very rough, right? Just to demonstrate you the need of a session, right? But I'm not having any filter or anything like that over here, but I'm implementing every filter and everything in CMS, right? So best practices are being observed in that project, right? So we come over here, let's open it into a browser window. So it is localhost, object oriented, and PHP sessions. Sessions. And this is session.php. Let's run it. Right? So tell us your name and submit. So once we are going to give this name, so it is going to be submitted right over here. And here at the top, we open a PHP tag. And here we say, if is set $_post sub name dollar underscore session sub. So guys, session is another dollar underscore session is another global variable, super global variable is equal to this, right? Else nothing. Okay, and we come over here. Here we open a PHP tag and we say is set session name, then output this, otherwise null, and we can echo it over here. Right? Okay, so let's see what happens. So this is definitely an error. So first of all, we'll see that error and then we'll remove that error. So we come back here, we reload. Okay, right. So because of is set, that error did not show up. Let me put some name here. So maybe name here is Avinash, right? So submit, right? So it is saying welcome Avinash. How is it welcome Avinash coming here? Is it being set somewhere else? Say it again. Okay, so this is definitely an error. Let us see that why is this error not showing up. Okay, let's see. Inspect elements and let's go to storage tab. Where is storage? Storage. Okay, and in the storage, can you see somewhere PHP sys ID? Hmm? Somehow,
not there.
somehow it is getting the session. So let us see again,
There was a session storage down browser.
It is a sessions or session. Let's check this thing. Maybe I'm doing something wrong here. So let us check this thing, right? So PHP super, let's have Google search actually. And I have lately observed that Bing is getting better, but it's far away, still far away from Google, right? So Google PHP, what was that? PHP super globals. Okay. So it is, again, Bing is in action, Microsoft keep on pushing for Bing, and whatever you do, they'll say, okay, try Bing again, guy. PHP super. globals. So today my internet is not working and I'm at an alternative arrangement. Okay.
It says we have to session start before and some.
Yeah. That is something I have to do. I know this thing, but I'm worried about this thing that why is not giving me error once I have not said session start.
Oh.
Right? I know this thing that I must say session start and then session will start, right? But it is not giving me error. Okay, maybe it is sessions. Okay, so dollar underscore session, right? So this is session, not sessions, right? So this is dollar, right? So I'm using it right. So I'm saying if it's set dollar underscore session, SESSION, right? Name is equal to post name. And then I'm saying that if it is set, then this name should be echoed over here. And that the astonishment here is that it should not do this thing because session has not started, right? We did not say session start and still it is doing this thing, right? So, but I know this thing for sure. Even if it is not giving error, session will not fully work once we don't say session start, right? How would we know this thing? For example, if we come back over here, right? And then, just copy this and let's cross it out and let's open a new tab, go back there, right? It's coming. Right here, it did not pick Avinash, right? So, but if we say over here, if we come back over here and we say session start, right? So if we can say session start, now if we do same thing, let's go back here. And if we come back and here we say Avinash, AVINSH, and submit. So welcome Avinash is here, right? Now if I copy this URL, and even if I close this page,
If you reload it, will it show?
yeah. Even if I close this page and I put it back here, right, and let this page reload, it will show again. Because it will keep this thing in the session file, right? So basically, this is kind of strange. So this is somehow not fully working. So there is some issue coming here. I don't know what is the issue. So session start, we are saying session start here, and it should work. Let us see.
You didn't refresh that page.
I did not do what?
Refresh that page after changing the code.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Let's see, right? If I did not do it, let's see. I should do it, right? So it is not mandatory because it is the server side code, right? But let's do this thing and let's run it again. Avinash, your name is so big. Let me put my name, right? Okay. So Zep and submit. Welcome Zep, right? And if I reload, let's don't reload. Let's, open it in a separate your separate bar, separate tab. Oh, look, welcome Zeb, right? So basically it is in the session now. So even if, I went away from here and as I came back, this particular session variable was still there and it recognized me through PHP session ID. Let me show you the PHP session ID, right? So let me come over here, inspect element. And inside the storage, I need to restart my computer. It's getting very slow. So look here, we will see PHP session ID, right? PHP sess ID right over here. Can you see this? Right? So basically, this is exactly what's happening that once we say session start, so PHP instruct the client that, hey client, remember this reference name. And the name by itself, it is Zeb or whatever the name is by itself, it is present inside the session file, right, with the server, which we are accessing through $_session. And this is how it's working. So we can do one more thing. If we, for example, if we delete this cookie, right, we come over here, right click, and we delete this particular cookie. And now if we reload this page, you see that it is gone, right? Because server was unable to recognize that who is coming for the request, right? Say I do it once more. I come back here. I say maybe Arunteja, Arunteja, right? Okay. So please forgive me if I have misspelled it, right? So, and submit, thank you. So this is Arunteja, and you can see this thing that PHP sess ID is once again set over here. Can you see? Right? And if I come back to this page, right, and it is kind of asking me to resubmit, right? I don't want to resubmit. And let me copy this URL. Or let me do this thing. Let me move away from this page. So I have moved away from this page. And let me just come back to this page. Right? So you can see this thing that server has memorized you and recognized you that you are the same person coming back and welcomed you.
Is this session persistent or not persistent? Like when will it end?
When would it end, right? So the deal is that PHP session expiration can be set in php.ini file within the server. Or we can delete the session purposely.
Okay.
Can we add that session with manually?
Yeah, this is definitely, this is what exactly we did right now. We said session start, so session started.
So
if we want to delete the
From the
session,
client side, can we add that session? I have that value and session ID. So can client add that session ID?
no, client cannot do so, right? Client cannot do so, of course. But client can do one thing. Say, for example, you are running a session. Say, for example, you are running your Wells Fargo session with your bank, right? And somehow a hacker comes and steals this session ID, right? Steals this session ID, and by using this cookie editor, right? This cookie editor right over here, right? He gives the same session ID to himself and goes to Wells Fargo by having that same session ID. So what Wells Fargo would do, Wells Fargo will log him in as you. So this is very important, that your cookies should not be stolen. Right? Say, for example, you logged on to Facebook, right? You logged on to Facebook and you did not log out. right? You did not log out, you just close the tab. Says one of your friends came and he, looked into your storage and saw that Facebook session cookie and just copied it into his laptop, right, or with him, right? And then by cookie editor, he came and he went back and put the same session ID into his storage of cookies and went to Facebook. Now he would be able to log in as you if you did not log out,
Okay.
right? So this is known as session hijacking.
when
So that
user
is the
logs out,
reason that whenever you sign in, it is always recommended that better sign out. Or there could be one option that at the server end, we can give this option that as soon as a page, is crossed out, right, is closed, that session expires. If at the server end, we have not done so. Like for example, Facebook does not do so. If you have logged into Facebook a year ago and you come back and say like write facebook.com, Facebook will log you back in, right? So this is very important. This session cookie is very, very crucial. Yes. Ankit, what was your question,
so
my dear?
when user logs out, so session will remains with the server or it get destroyed?
So basically, once you log out, it may happen that a session remains with the server for some time. But in that session, it would be mentioned that you are logged out.
So it will be in the server or not?
It would be in the server. But session ID would be given to you, which would be here in the form of cookie, right? So if you go back to Facebook or that particular CMS by using that session cookie, right, server will say, okay, we see that it's you, but you are logged out.
Yeah.
So please log back in.
So again, one new session will resume or the last session will
So
be
if you are
continued?
already in session and that session is not destroyed, that session will resume.
Okay.
Right? But if you were not no more in session and that session was destroyed, then you can create a new session.
Yes.
Got it?
Yeah.
Great. Very good. Any other question?
No, sir.
Okay. Any other question, guys?
Professor, what's that session storage?
Look, this is the variable right over here, $_session. This is the session storage for PHP.
Okay.
Right? PHP keeps its session in this particular variable.
It shows in the browser because in browser I see some tab called session storage.
Say it again.
Is it visible in the browser? Because in browser,
My dear, in browser, within browser, look, once again, look at this diagram. So here, look, once you say session start, so server opens a file with it, right? And give this file a title, which is PHP session ID. And ask the client that, hey, client, this is your session ID. Save it with yourself. Right? So basically, this file reference is given to the client. So once client comes back to the server, that, hey, server, it's me again. So it asks, hey, what is your session ID? So this is my session ID. Okay, so you are logged in.
Okay.
Right? Got it?
Yes, Professor.
Any other question? Right, guys? Have you got it?
Yes.
Okay, great. So this is how sessions work. And in our CMS project, how we are going to use sessions. So deal here is that we will say, hey, session starts. As soon as somebody comes in, we say session start, right? So once session has started, we will monitor this thing through the session, whether this particular person is logged in or logged out, or if this person is logged in, what is his name, right? What is his ID? And we will treat him according to that person. Right, guys? So let's make it, but before we make it, let's complete this particular mini thing which we are making right now. Just to show you one more thing over here. So for example, we can come over here, we can say if so we can say if, right? And we can say is set. Right? This thing, if it is set or it is not set, right? Not set. Then show this form. Otherwise, don't show this form. Right? So, you know, since we are learning PHP also along with, so this is like, you know, I thought to show you this thing, that how do you manage this thing? So we come back over here, reload. My computer is very slow at the moment. I'm sorry for this. Right? You can see that this form has gone. Right? But if we remove this session ID from here, if we come over here, right click. So delete this PHP session ID. Mm-hmm. Oh, it is deleted, right? So is it deleted? Yes. Right. So let's reload it. I need to, you know, restart my computer. I'm sorry. I will do. So it is back now. Right. So basically, you know, this is how we can also, you know, uh, manage our page. So having said this thing, let's try this thing in our actual project. So coming back here, let me just close this page. Right, guys? And since we are doing object oriented, so let us do one thing. Let's go to includes folder, this folder, and let's create a new file with the name class dot session dot php. Right? And here we say that this is a class. Sorry. First thing we have to do what? Hello, can you hear me? PHP tag. And once we have this PHP tag, let's make a class. Right, so this is a class, and let's give class name session. Right, and we come into this constructor and we say session start. Right, instead of saying this thing at the top of the page, we come over here and say session start. Right, guys? Hello?
Yes. Sir.
And here we make various functions. For example, we make a function, public function, sign in. right? And here we'll write the sign-in code, right? And then we make another public function, sign out. Right? And here we'll write the sign out code. And here let me make another function, is signed in, right? And here we'll verify whether the person is signed in or not signed in. So this is a class where we will manage this thing that a particular person is signed in or is signed out, or whatever it is, right? So definitely here we'll make another function. Yeah, that is already over here. So these three functions are good enough for now, right? So we are going to make these three functions, and this class will control this thing, that whether we are signed in or not, we are not signed in. Got it, guys? Any question? Any question? Okay, let me come back in the browser. And yeah, currently do we have a session over here? Yes, so let me remove this session ID so that it should not interfere with our present code. Okay, and let us close this tab. Let us close this tab. Let us close this tab also. This also. So many tabs open. So this is the main reason that my system is stalling. Where are you guys? Here it is. Right? So let's start making this page right now. So I will come over here in the me page and let's start making it. Right? So I come over here. So now one more thing, that we have all these classes placed somewhere, but we are not including them, right? So now we have to get hold of them, we have to include them. So we come over here in the includes folder, and let's create a new file right over here. New file, and let's name it inc.php, right? inc.php. Here we open a PHP tag and we say require once. So what do we want to require? So first thing we want to require is class dot session dot php, right? Then we say require once. Here what do we want now? What is next? Yes, class dot db object dot php. What is next? Yes, please.
Me PHP.
Huh?
Me PHP.
Me, no, classes, only classes, my dear. So setter.php, right? So class dot setter.php, right? And then what do we require here? Require once class dot
In
huh?
the users only.
User.
Dot php, right? And then what do we require here? Require once. What is that? Class dot what? we have picture. Do we have?
No, sir, that's I
That's
guess.
it, right? So we have not made that class over here yet. So that will make later on. So these are the classes required, right? So what can we do over here is that we can just close it and write in the head. Where is the head? So head is present in layouts. So if we open public folder, here we have layouts, and within layouts we have head, right? And right at the top of the head, right at the top of the head, or even before the top of the head, we'll say PHP, and here we'll say require ones, right? What do we want right now? We want so we need to get to where we are currently in layouts, right? We are currently in layouts, right? So we need to go out from here, right? We need to go out from here one step out, so we would be in public, right? And one more step out, we need to go two steps out, and then we need to get into includes folder and get inc file. Are you getting what I'm talking about here?
Yes.
Everybody?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so we come over here, we say underscore underscore dir underscore dot backslash. So from starting from the current folder, right? So go two steps back, sorry, right? And then sorry, one step back, and then another step back, and there you will find what folder? Includes. And there you will have file inc.php. Get that file and put it over here. Does it make sense, guys?
Yes.
Okay, Control S, and let's see if our code is not broken. Reload it. If the code would be broken, then it will say that file could not be found. It would be giving us some error over here. Okay, look, this has warning require once. Okay, class db objects are okay. It means that we did not do something. Where is this error coming from? Setter class, right? So we go to setter class. No, it's not session. Setter class, and basically, if we want, we can just remove this require over here.
No, sir. We have changed all the file names as we removed sevens in all the files.
Yeah, but I was saying that since I have mentioned them all in inc file, now I need not to even give it over here. So the deal here is that I can do this thing also. This is perfectly all right. It will work. But this is surplus now, right? So if I go back in the browser and reload it, okay, what does it say?
the same error in setter 7 also we have.
Oh yeah, so user class, right? This time it is giving a user class, right?
User
So
class.
we go to the user. Let's rectify this error first, and then we'll see that what I'm saying here, right? So say for example, I have done this thing now, right? Go back in the browser, reload it. Right, so basically that error has gone. It's still reloading the CSS file, right? So give it some time. Server is kind of getting very slow. I need to reboot. So it is still loading the server. Look, okay, it has loaded the CSS file. Now, Arun Teja, this is what I was saying. I was saying that I can just remove this line over here, and I can go to the setter file, and I can remove this also from here, and it will still work, right? Look, I reload it. right? It's reloading. So it is loading CSS file, though it is like very humble little small CSS file, but server by itself is slow. I'm sorry for it. And you know, it will load in a second. Look, right? So it is working, right? Why is it working? Because every includes we needed to have, we have placed them all
in inc dot
in inc file in the order we require them. The order matters over here, right? So in the order we require them,
yes sir.
right? And once we have required them over here, now no more to require them over there.
Yes sir.
Got it?
Yes sir.
And now this session is basically the one which is going to control our session. Okay, I think I will stop over here. It is quite a bit of information for today. I think that people are overwhelmed already. So I will continue this discussion tomorrow. Let me go ahead and push this code on GitHub. So I come here, cd dot dot cd odp summer of 2020. And I say everything is saved. I say git add, let me say git status. So we have all these files ready to go. Let me just have a look, right? And we come over here, I say git add dot git commit -m. What did we learn today? Sessions.
Sessions.
And
Dynamic navbar.
dynamic navbar, right? Both of these two things are very important, right? So once you know how to make dynamic elements, this is a good skill to know. It helps you a lot. So once we have done so, then we say git push. Okay, great. So let me just stop sharing my screen. And let me just, finish my recording session also.